State Board foiling simulation, right front, 15 minutes. The supplies that are needed for this procedure are 8 to 10 pieces of pre-cut foil, a pintail comb and a tint brush, or a pintail tint brush. For your 4-section block, you will need a comb and 4 or 5 sectioning clips. You will need a pair of gloves and a container of cholesterol that is labeled lightener. I'm now going to read the instructions for this procedure. Foiling simulation virgin right front 15 minutes. For the chemical service portion of this exam, you will begin by dividing the head into 4 equal sections. You will now perform a foil on the right front of the head. You must demonstrate 3 weaves and 3 slices. 1 of each must be performed in the direct presence of your examiner. Cholesterol will be used for this simulation utilizing a roll and brush method. You will be using 1/4 inch subsections. Angular or parallel subsectioning is acceptable. You may start your application at either the top or the bottom of the section. If you have not been approached by your examiner and you have completed 2 weaves and 2 slices, you should raise your hand and prompt your examiner prior to your demonstration of your 3rd weave and slice, as it is necessary for them to observe your technique. After your examiner has observed both techniques, please set up your supplies for hair coloring retouch procedure. Then step back and quietly wait for further instructions. You have 15 minutes to complete this procedure, and you may now begin. While you're setting up your station, the examiners will walk around checking supplies. Be sure your cholesterol is labeled lightener. Once your supplies are neatly set up, step back and quietly wait for instructions to be read. You're going to begin by putting your gloves on. You need to put in an even 4-section block for the chemical portion of this exam. Starting in the front right block, we suggest starting at the bottom. Even though the instructions say you could do either the top or the bottom, less chance for slippage. So you're going to bring down a 1/2 inch subsection at the bottom, clipping your other hair up out of the way. Using your pintail, you're going to slice a very thin subsection, almost see-through. Going to take your foil, wrap it around the tail of your comb or tint brush, hold it taut, slide it out. You don't want to start applying your product close to the scalp so that you don't have bleeds or seepage. You're going to hold the foil with your thumb and your pointer finger. Using the side of your brush when you have less product, feather at the scalp, fold so the ends meet, up once, in once, and in on the other side. Bring down another 1/2 inch subsection. Take a thin section off the top. Need to have nice clean subsections. Be sure there's hair left between your foil packets. Now you're going to weave close to the scalp all the way through the strand. So wrap your foil, lift your strand, hold it tight, slide the tail out. Hold it with your thumb and your pointer finger. Squiggy it as you go down to be sure you have complete coverage. Feather it at the top when you have less product on your brush. You do not want to go off the foil packet with any product. Fold up once, in on one side, in on the other side. Bring down a 1/2 inch subsection. You're going to alternate weaves and slices as you move up the head. So a thin subsection for a slice. Raise it up, hold it taut. If you're right-handed, keep your product on your right side to make it easier for you. If you're left-handed, keep your product on your left side. So feather lightly, up once, in, and in. Thin subsection, close to the scalp, weave through the entire strand. You want to have a nice even weave. If when you're applying the foil slips, you do not want to leave it that way. Go in, pull it back up so that it's tight to the scalp. Using the teeth of your brush, you can pull the hair down. You can reapply, but do not leave it slipped where it's not tight to the scalp. Feather, fold up. If your examiner has not been over to watch you yet, once you've completed 2 of each of your packets, you need to wait for them to come check. Once you have 2 weaves and 2 slices, you need to wait for your examiner to come observe. You're going to bring down a 1/2 inch subsection. This is your slice technique. Slice a very thin, neat subsection off the top of your 1/2 inch section. Fold the foil over your tail, hold the hair up, hold it taut, slide your tail out. Start down lower, not close to the scalp. You want to be sure you have complete coverage, so use enough product. Once you have less product on your brush, you're going to go feather up at the scalp. This is the demonstration of a slice. Fold up, in on one side, in on the second side. If you fold over too far and you see drag on the hair, you need to go back and move your fold. You don't want any product outside of the foil packets. To demonstrate a weave, you're going to bring down a 1/2 inch subsection. Clip your other hair out of your way. Nice clean subsection off the top. Starting close to the scalp, you're going to weave an even weave through the entire strand. If your subsections are not clean, the foil packet will not be close to the scalp. Going to wiggle for complete coverage. Hold it tight to the scalp and feather at the root. Up once, in on each side. You only need to do 3 of each type, so if there's hair remaining at the top, that's fine, you just leave it. Your foiling simulation is complete. Once your examiner has observed a weave and a slice and you have completed 6 foils, you can begin packing and cleaning up your station. You're going to wrap your tint brush in a foil so that the product does not get all over everything in your baggie. Place your supplies back in your plastic bag. Once you're done packing your supplies, place your baggie back in your transport bag and your gloves will go in the garbage. Then set up for coloring simulation and step back and wait for further instructions.